You know you are an ENTJ when you think and say this all the time. I could have done that better. Or can you? Looking at the ENTJ personality type today, we discover some of the things ENTJs do during a crisis and whether or not they are good at handling difficult situations. Why don't we first look at some of the things that could prove to be some crisis for an ENT? The first thing will be being in an environment that lacks vision. Everyone knows how important it is for ENTJs to be in thriving environments and have some form of drive towards a goal. If lazy and incompetent people surround ENTJs, they also tend to get frustrated. ENTJs are, by nature, strategic leaders that are motivated at all times to cause change. Therefore, they are quick to notice inefficiency quickly. Being hardworking and always striving to win also makes it nearly impossible for ENTJs to accommodate people who are not driven to pursue the same goals as theirs because they constantly believe their ideas are the best. As a result of their logical approach to all matters, including those that are emotional, ENTJs find situations that require handling emotions very overwhelming. And this could serve as a crisis for them, depending on the matter at hand. The first approach an ENTJ will take during a crisis is actually something that comes even before the emergence of a crisis: preparing ahead of time. Some people are of the view that due to the competitive nature of ENTJs, they see problems as challenges and, as such, are not really affected when there is a crisis that needs to be solved. Even though this is true to an extent, ENTJs will prefer having the foresight of an emerging problem. Surprise challenges or problems that spring out from nowhere are not exactly pleasant experiences for them. This is also because of their detail-oriented nature. Checking all the possibilities and canceling out all the what-ifs are hallmarks of an ENTJ, and that is why an unforeseen circumstance is a major crisis for an ENTJ, and they will prefer to prepare ahead of time. If you believe ENTJs never panic, then sorry to burst your bubble, because they do panic. For about 5 seconds, of course, then quickly delve into the solution-driven mode, which we will discuss shortly. ENTJs may have a God complex that makes them believe that they can handle everything, but every now and then, during a crisis, they can become hypersensitive. Due to the fact that ENTJs are unable to properly process their emotions and articulate them, whenever there is a crisis, they find it difficult to express how they feel, leading to some of the most outrageous outbursts. Pent-up emotions are not good for anyone, including those who try to rationalize their emotions by focusing only on what can be done during the crisis and neglecting how they truly feel about the situation. This is one of the negative ways by which ENTJs handle crises. Then again, preparing ahead and being hypersensitive are all driven towards one action: strategy. The extroverted thinking function of an ENTJ is responsible for quickly shifting them into the "what do I have to do" mode that we are all too familiar with. Planning and organizing come next for an ENTJ when a crisis comes up. They may become direct and feel an urgent need to complete a task, which drives them to think and plan on what to do to cushion the situation. This could be done in a rather aggressive manner because not knowing what to do is one of the biggest frustrations of an ENTJ. When plans are carefully patterned, what comes afterward are solution-driven ideas, which we will be discussing. In the meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. ENTJs take time off every now and then. As people who have less time engaging in activities they deem unprofitable. This comes as a surprise. However, ENTJs know when just to take some time off to focus on a crisis at hand. So, instead of being a typical workaholic, there are times when they engage in other activities or hobbies just to be revitalized enough to resume working. Granted that this may not be a consistent action with them all. Still, healthy ENTJs know when to rest and what to do to reactivate their energies to be able to come back and think critically in a crisis. What is an ENTJ without striving for a solution? The reason why this personality type is the most employed is because they are action-oriented and solution-driven. In a crisis, ENTJs can easily come up with a well-thought-out solution because they are naturally gifted with good problem-solving skills. Being in a crisis can be quite overwhelming when there is no plan or action, and that is why it is effective to always have an ENTJ in your corner. During a crisis, ENTJs lean more toward problem-solving than most personality types, and that is why even though they can get into a crisis, it is difficult to have them there for a long time. Just like this video, if you want more on the ENTJ personality type, then check out our other video on the top 5 most powerful traits of an ENTJ entrepreneur. We're glad to have come your way. Do enjoy the rest of your time.